Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the Maple and Blossom podcast. Today is episode 19. Shikimori's not just a cutie. I am one of your co-hosts, Maple, and with me as always is our other co-host, Blossom.
Yahoo! It is me, Blossom. How's everyone doing? How have you been doing?
I've been good, busy, trying to play catch up on a lot of the anime, so it's
Yeah,
been quite a
that's
busy
why I'm trying to
weekend.
trying to stay ahead of it.
Yeah, it's not bad. How about you? How have things been with you?
Oh, they are good. I think they are good. They are okay enough, I think.
I don't know. Maybe our listeners want me to pressure you a little.
I work already today, so like
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm just like, yeah, I know for you it is late, and for me, I really worked. It's like we we had a little problem for recording, so we have to now record on a day where we are like both busy, so it's a little bit making sure this gets out on time, so it's a little bit different though. But that's okay. We'll get to it, I guess.
Yeah, these things happen. So. All right,
Mm.
so let's jump into the episode. So, yeah, it starts off with our main character, Izumi, the guy, and he's getting ready to head off to school. And they really showcase it starting right away. The quirk of him, which is that he's extremely unlucky. He has a lot of bad luck. Um, so as he leaves, you see like this little timer up in the corner, and it shows him, walking out of his door, and then he trips immediately on a rock, and that kind of like starts everything off early on within the anime specifically. It,
Yeah, oh sorry.
yeah,
He
I
is
was gonna
just like
say,
it's funny, just like there are some times, so that's like I like how at least the main guy character, he's not a loser in the sense like, oh, I don't even know who that guy is. Like, you know how in
yeah,
anime, like no one even knows who the main character is. And he's usually like a loser character. He's really not like that. He's just really unlucky, and it's kind of like a breath of fresh air, but they really like over prominently make him unlucky,
yeah,
like too much so, and they do lower the like o
the
they
amount,
do lower the amount of time they do it
yeah.
at the ending of the anime, which is good. Because I ended up giving this like a decent score because of that. But in the beginning, it's just very like everything he does is just unlucky. So they're
Well,
like,
and they highlighted several times throughout the early parts of the anime. Everything is pointing out to the unlucky side of things with him. But I do think it gets ridiculous, especially early on. But
another good thing I really like about this anime is in the beginning, he is going to meet his girlfriend. So
yeah,
they already dating, which is I like when anime do this trope where it's not the whole anime aspect isn't about them trying to get together.
yeah,
They are actually already a couple, and
yeah,
I'm like, "Oh,
yeah,
I actually like that." And I kind of feel like I've noticed more animes are trying to take that approach where the
yeah,
characters start dating early on or they are already dating. And most of the ones that don't do that, they're harems, and they usually a lot of those, I feel
yeah.
like they never really get anywhere, and I don't
Well, they don't. It's a
particularly.
waste. It feels like a waste of time
Mm,
when you're going
yeah.
through. Like, it's okay. Like, I don't mind when it's a harem type where a decision isn't made necessarily when they announce it at the beginning, like the early stages of the anime, and you can kind of sit there and go, "Oh, okay, okay. I know it's a harem. I know where it's going." Unlike some of the other ones that we've watched, like with Love is Invisible by Twins. where you can see the anime, there always was one choice, but by the end he's like, "Oh, I can't really choose," and then it becomes this forced
I
thing at the
didn't
end,
really.
and
I'm
yeah.
sure we'll get to that anime too at some point on this
Oh, I'm
podcast,
sure
though.
we will.
Yeah.
So yeah, so carrying
So
on, he rushes to see his girlfriend, and of course he highlights some more of his strings of bad luck that he talks about, um, with him trying to get there early to meet her.
yeah, well, what? There's like old lady crossing the street, and lost kid. Or the lost kid, I think, is at another episode. But like,
It is,
yeah,
but
it's
like,
just all
it's
these
just his
things that
own
always
thing.
getting in his way.
Yeah, he trips. A bird goes in, almost poops on him, and he trips trying to dodge it, and it goes into the dirt. Like it's just these series of events where it's like, okay, like come on.
Oh, oh, yeah, it's ridiculous. I will
And I
say,
mean, it highlights it.
mm,
Mm,
I,
go ahead.
I do, I was just gonna get into Shikimori here. Well, I just love Shikimori's character. Like, I love her
Yeah,
character design. I even like the blue tint in her hair, which is funny because when I first watched it, I thought it was like, you don't always see it because it's like on
no,
the underside, like on the inside, right? It's not even on the outside
yeah,
of her hair. It's just like
yeah.
the under part of her hair. So it's really interesting that it's a very interesting design choice there.
I
So
I personally don't care for it myself, but
mm,
I do say it is extremely minimal when she puts her hair up and when has her hair in braids and stuff like that. So you don't notice it quite as much in a lot of the moments throughout the anime. So for me, it wasn't really anything that really like bothered me per se, because like I said, it's extremely minimal that you really, see or notice it. But for me,
yeah.
I wasn't personally a fan
Mm. Maybe
myself.
I'll
But
change my hair to pinker. Maybe. Though I think then I have way too much pinker.
yeah, it would be definitely be way too much pink.
So yeah, unlike Izumi, Shikimori is just the exact opposite.
Yeah,
She's got incredible luck. She's skilled at almost everything, almost. And it's very like prominent at showing this early on because they go bowling with their friends from school. Inuzuka, right, goes.
yeah,
Shikimori goes, Izumi
uh,
goes,
yeah. Izumi, Inuzuka, Shikimori, they all
and
do actually.
Nekokazu.
Hachi
Nek-
and Neko.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm. So, yeah, all of them go, and she gets a perfect score.
yeah.
She just bowled a perfect score, which is just crazy. I don't know if anyone is actually going bowling her, but yeah, my highest score. Well, I average around like 200 though, but uh
Yeah,
yeah, I've
whatever you
never
say,
got
show
to
off.
800. Oh no, it isn't. I just get lucky. It is just dark. It's
Yeah,
not like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Whatever you say. Whatever you say. This I've done a 7-10 split. Whatever you say.
Okay, that one was just all duck. That was just luck. Um, so yeah, after watching Shikimori go boarding her, I was like, oh, she should have been in the anime Turkey. They would have loved her. They would have loved her character.
Yeah,
They
at
would have
least
been like,
somebody
oh, she's
who
so
knows how to
good.
bowl.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, see that anime is weird. It's like, oh no, let's just get all our friends together, even though most of them are not even interested.
I know.
It was that dynamic thing I just don't
Yeah,
like in the
yeah.
sports anime.
So yeah, so again, in it showcases, like I said, near the ending of the anime and everything else, it really starts showcasing some more of like the ridiculousness of their his unlucky streak. Like when they're in class, for example, a brush goes flying out of a girl's hand, an eraser goes flying out of a girl's hand and bounces off a few things and goes flying towards him. And then, Shikimori comes out of nowhere and just does this like slide and punches the eraser midair.
Wha Yeah, she does, like, this karate punch, and this is
Yeah.
like, "Why? Why do you have to just just block it? You don't have to punch it."
Well, that's just it. And then it goes
And then
flying in
it
the
lands
air.
on her head, yeah.
Yeah. I think it was a cute moment afterwards though when he's like trying to brush the chalk out of her hair. Um and she generally, like, because of the clothes and everything, and she's embarrassed, she runs out to go clean herself off. I do like after this because, of course, the boys are teasing him about their relationship. How did a loser like you get a girl like her and, going on. And then you can see as they're leaving to go bowling, you can see her flash a look at the guys like, "If you do this again, like, you're gonna get hurt. Don't talk to him, don't talk about him like that." So, she is
Yeah.
extremely protective like that, which is
Oh,
which
yeah,
is
she's
nice.
so overprotective of him.
Well,
And I think
again, you
there's
see it
really
near the
cute
end.
dynamic too, and she
Yeah.
is overprotective of him also because she sometimes worries that she's like, "Oh no, someone else is gonna take him from me." And like you
Well,
can
that's
actually
just it.
see that she really loves Izumi. And I really like this dynamic between the two of them because they're both so mature about it, right?
Yeah.
And Izumi always is wondering like, "Oh, I hope like I'm good enough for her. Like, I hope my bad luck doesn't push her away." And she's
Or it
worried that
doesn't go it
yeah.
doesn't transfer to her either, right? So,
And then she's all like, "Oh wow, I love him and I don't want him to go, I want him to just be around like me forever and I don't want someone else to take him and stuff like that." So,
yeah, she's worried she's not cute enough. It's the problem. She's maybe too tomboyish and she's not
yeah.
it's not something that would kinda work out between them, right? Um So yeah, so I mean, again, at the end of the episode, they're walking back, and like I say, there's some things where I'm like, okay, like, yeah, I guess it's not exactly bad luck. I mean, there's some stuff where I'm like, it just seems unnecessary. Like a newspaper flying towards him, and she just like swats and stops it like midair, and it's like you don't really need to go over the top over something as silly as a newspaper, or
And then when they're talking at the end of the episode, a sign almost
yeah.
fall on him, and she comes and does this like spin kicker, and it's just like, again, it's like over the top, like just push him
Well,
out of the way. Like you don't have to.
that's just it.
And it shows the ridiculousness of that she has she has the power to actually just kick this sign away.
Exactly. Well, exactly. And again, like I said, like, there's other moments where, like, you'll see her, they're walking, like, on the side of the road, and you'll see her, like, a car drives by, and she's, like, grabbing him like it's like she's, like, bodyguard for a president, and she's, like, pinning him against the wall because somebody's coming by to shoot him. And it's, like, this extreme, like, protection thing, and she's, like and literally, it's just a car
Stop
driving
it!
by.
Stop it! That's terrible. That's
So,
awful. That's
it's like
awful
it's like a car
analogy.
this car is
So
driving
bad.
by, and he's looking at her like, "What's
Oh.
going on?" She's all like, "Oh, you have to be more careful." It's literally just walking. Like, I don't It's like, "What are we doing?" So, again, that's pretty much how the episode ends, and, of course, we start with episode 2, which is the sports festival,
Yeah,
or
this is a
the
sports
sports
day.
day,
It's
yeah,
sports
tournament,
day.
yeah,
It is a
whatever it
little bit
is.
different. Sports festival is like a few days. Sports day is just one like smaller day.
Yeah.
And then so again, Izumi just gets hit in the head by board just like 3 times, and then he gets he literally gets like knocked out and ends up in um and
The
he
nurse's
goes to the
office.
nurse office,
Yeah.
and Shikimori is just like there. Well, she was watching him and she was trying to warn him, and he thought it was like, "Oh, is she just wishing me good luck or something?" And that's when he like, he's not focusing on the game.
Well, the other thing
And
too is, like, you
mm,
see his string of bad luck is he goes to, like the match literally starts, he's just standing there, the match starts, and his shoelace explodes, and then he just goes he trips and falls on his face. Like, it's like, what are we doing? Like, in what universe do
Oh.
shoelaces explode like this?
So yeah, and then after that, so Shikimori, she's doing a
Volleyball.
volleyball
Yeah.
game, and the girl on the other side, right, is Kamiya, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And she is like really good. She's on the volleyball team, and so Shikimori is like, yeah, well, the class we are up against is not like it's gonna be difficult for me in a class that we're up
Yeah.
against. And she was like, but we're gonna like do our best. And her team is losing, and then Izumi comes after being released from NOS office, and he was like, "Ah, Shikimori, you can do it!" Right? Like cheering her
cheering
on,
her
and then
on.
like
Yep.
she like makes this great comeback, right? And it was really I love when they showcase the sports in this
Yeah.
anime. Like when
Yeah.
they show her competitive side, she's got like this good look in her eye, and it's like oh okay, like now she's like fired up, and it's I really like this moment with Shikimori. And
Mhm.
so after the game, right, like now she's just being noticed and now she's popular with everyone. Like everyone's like, "Oh
Yeah,
my
she's the
god, did
school
this
hero.
amazing comeback."
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the scooter hero sort of thing. Right, yeah. Mm.
Well, and that's just it, and all the girls are standing there waiting for her attention. So she literally opens the door, and there's, like, dozens of girls just standing there, like, cheering her and, like, wanting to take her picture and, "Can I hold your hand? Can we" oh, and then, of course, you see see him, Izumi's there, and, like, "Who's this guy? Is that her boyfriend?" And, at first, the girl's, like, kinda snooty with it, like, "Oh, that's her boyfriend?" And then
And then a few of them like, "Oh wow, he's kind of handsome.
he's
Oh,
kinda
he's
cute,
cute."
he's kinda cute.
Yeah.
He's kinda good, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, he is kinda cute." And then, of course, it starts putting a little bit of a rift between them because she's now busy dealing with her newfound fame, where all the
And
girls
I
are
like
kind of
how the
all
friends,
around.
right? Her friends are just like, "Okay, well, you can schedule this time," and they're like being
Well,
like
they
her
become like a
secretary.
manager. Yeah, they're like
Yeah, yeah.
and they're
Mm.
running it, like, in lunch hour, they literally have girls lining up out the door to take pictures, like, "Alright, next one, come on in." And because of this though, yeah, Izumi is left on his own, um, and you see a moment where he's standing, like, by the window, and of course, this gets Shikimori her jealousy triggers again, um, so he's standing by the window, and this ball comes, of course, flying, up through the window, and Inu is there, and you see Inu kinda push him out of the way, and he takes the brunt of the ball to the head kinda thing and kinda lays down. And it was hilarious because then the next thing you see, it's like this scene from like a yaoi anime or scene where Izumi is lately on his knee and he's like touching Inu's cheek and he's like, "Are you okay? Are you sure this doesn't hurt?" He's like checking on him, and of course this immediately triggers Shikimori. And I like her jealousy in a lot of ways where they do it differently than other animes. Where like for her in particular, it's more of like a motivation. It's not something that's like, "I'm jealous you can't hang around with him anymore." She takes it more of like a personal insult, like, he's the one protecting him instead of me, and I don't like that. And she's
Yeah.
more of like she uses it more as like a motivation, like a competitiveness, right? So she does get a little bit jealous at this moment. She's all like pouting in the corner and stuff, and, later on, he tries to sneak out because he doesn't want to bother her with her newfound fame, and he was just gonna walk home by himself. And again, like you said, this is where early on ridiculousness. He goes to start walking down the stairs and he trips and he almost falls down the stairs. So he's kind of falling down, and then Shikimori comes out of nowhere and like grabs a hold of him and pulls him up, and then she gets like possessed with like, "Hey, who the hell told you you could walk home by yourself?"
This guy cannot even walk home by himself. He is so sad. Like
No,
that's the sad part. Like she's like, "You are so unlucky. You might actually die.
yeah.
you you are going to die if I'm not there protecting you," sort of thing. And that's how episode 2 end.
Well, and I like the cute moment because again, like the cute things they say to each other. Because again, she says she's like, "You're the only one I want to walk home with," kind of thing, right? And like she kind of
Mhm.
like, and again, they're just these. It's full of these like little cute moments between the two of them. So, and then of course, episode 3 starts with he gets movie
Izumi
tickets. Is that
gets
what it is?
yeah.
It's just like
Yeah, he
free
got
movie
movie
tickets.
ticket yeah from Inzaka Gotham. And so Shikimori is like sitting in the she's sitting in the classroom and at her desk and she like is like
Mm,
overhearing like oh
yeah.
okay he's getting movie ticket now and then she's like oh, I hope he asked me and then as soon as Izumi walks over she's like yeah I'll go with you yeah I'm definitely gonna go with you like before he even ask. So I found this like really funny, and then
It
I
was.
really also like. this next part because Shikimori is like just trying out like a bunch
Outfits.
of outfit though.
Yeah.
And I really thought it was like cute because she's like, oh, I have to try and look as cute as possible, right? For him and stuff like that. And I really like it because like she's getting like frustrated and like
Yeah.
getting loud and it's like middle of the night and I love her brother because her brother's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And then she's like, "You don't understand." And then he's like, "Oh, there's a like," he's kind of like slightly annoyed with it, right? But like
Yeah.
he like understand. I really like her brother, and we'll get into that in another episode. But
Yeah.
yeah, I like a lot of the outfits that she had. I feel like I have a lot of those same outfit
Yeah.
though, and I really like the
Yeah.
one she actually chose.
Yeah.
And then when we get to the movie theater, it's funny because he lets her kind of choose the movie, which is ends up being a little bit funny.
Yeah, so he's kinda sitting there and, like, before this, we're seeing him doing his preparation, but his preparation is just ridiculousness. Because of his unlucky streak, he, packing a backpack, but he's doing, like, "Okay, and I'll bring, like, 3 towels in case, we get water spilled on us, and I'll pack, 3 umbrellas in case, 2 of them break," and he's just going through all these ridiculousness. "Oh, if it's too hot, I'll bring water," and he's just going through all the, like, these different scenarios in his head of the unluckiness, and then he puts the backpack on, he can't even walk in it. He's, like, falling over on his back like a turtle 'cause he he can't handle the weight of anything, right? So,
Ah, it's so funny.
yeah, so he goes and he's got this image in his head while they're on their way to the movie theater that they're gonna go and watch this, romance movie, and then when it gets to the romantic side, they'll turn to each other and, feel the moment of the movie and then kinda kiss, right? This is kinda like his fantasy that he's running through his head as they're choosing a movie. So he gets to the theater and he asks Shikimori what kind of movie she would like, and, she looks and immediately points to this, like, killer clown poster, and she's like, "Oh, well, I've heard good things. I've heard that's popular right now. Maybe we should go check that out." And I like how when they go into it, how brave he's trying to act. Because he literally looks at her and he's like trying to be the cool boyfriend. He's like, "Hey, if you get scared, you can lean on me." And
Yeah, well, we all know how that ended up turning out.
yeah.
He's like screaming and being all scared in the movie theater, and she's the one
Oh
that's
yeah.
like
And then they
reassuring him
leave
and
because
like
he's
taking
like,
his hand and stuff.
yeah, he leaves because he almost passes out and almost sick from being so scared,
Oh.
which was just hilarious. And then they end up running into his parents.
Yeah, well, they're going to go out to eat, and
Yeah.
Izumi is like, "Oh no, I lost my wallet though, and I put it on like string, but it broke again." Just like,
He's got it
what do you?
chained into his pocket and, like, all these different things to kinda stop it, and then it's like, "Oh, no, I lost my wallet."
Ah, so then on the way, they're like, "Okay, well, what are we gonna do?" And then they end up running to his parents, and then
Yeah,
his parents invite Shikimori over for dinner, and they're just like
yeah,
nice. They eat spaghetti and meatball.
yeah,
And then they're just trying to fill her plate with more food, and she's like,
yeah, they're like, "Here,
oh, okay,
we
okay,
t
like, thank
we tend
you."
to make too much food. We tend to make too much
Mm,
food, so you might as well eat up."
yeah,
And again, she ends up having, these kinda, like, cute moments with both of his parents. So first with his mother, where she's,
mm.
like, helping her with the dishes and then kinda saves a plate from falling, and, her mother looks at her and goes kinda like, "Oh, I wish you were my girlfriend. I wish I was dating you."
And then they're like, and then because he's in me fell asleep on the couch here,
Yeah,
and then when he wake up, he's like, "Oh no, it's so late already." And I love it too because Shikimori is like playing video gamer with his dad, right? And it's
yeah,
just like
yeah,
they do that thing like guys do where they like, uh, not like a handshake, but like, you know what I mean? Where they're like,
yeah,
"Oh
yeah,
yeah, that was such a good game." Like, "Yeah, that was like you're a good opponent," right? And like her dad or his dad and Shikimori is doing that. I'm like just laughing because I'm like they again the competitive spirit, right? And it
yeah,
kind of makes a notion that oh his dad is like good at stuff. And that's one thing I really want to also add into this here right now is both characters have parents, and they're
Yeah,
pretty prominent, I guess, in the anime to an extent. And
yep.
like they're both, at least they're both there, and they're both good. They actively like add to the story and stuff like that. So,
Well, that's just it. They're
I'm
not
really
losers,
like I think it's great.
which is nice. Yeah, so, I mean,
Hmm.
again, it just kinda more ends with him walking, walking her to her station kinda thing. Um, as she says, next time she wants to see a movie that, he would actually enjoy rather than, always choosing something she wants kinda thing. Which again was really nice. It was a really cute ending.
I
And
like
of
the give
course,
and take that their relationship has. It's like,
yeah,
relationship isn't always just being doing something that one person like,
yeah,
and isn't always the same as like, oh, you have to do everything or I have to do everything. It's like you do stuff and I do stuff, like, right?
yeah.
It's nice. And then
No,
episode
exactly.
4, they talk about going to a barbecue for like their summer plans, and
Yeah,
the girls they go for a swimsuit shopping. And I like this because Shikimori in the beginning is like, oh well, we're not really going to go and swim because Izumi gets sunburned like so easy, so he's probably just gonna we're just gonna probably hang out, right? And
yeah. See,
then
he
she
he
sees
basically says,
him.
like she says, "I'm not gonna go into the river," kinda thing, and, I'm not gonna swim in the river, and she says, "Oh, okay, well, then I won't either." Yeah,
And then so Izumi is looking at like an ad for swimsuit, and it's
yeah,
like sexy kind of swimsuit. So now Shikimori is like, is that like what does he like that sort of thing? Maybe I should go and like buy that swimsuit though. So she ends up going away and sneaking away with the girls
yeah.
and buying the swimsuit. Cause
Yeah, so
yeah, because
she
I
she
think she's
starts
like, oh,
looking at
I'm
it.
gonna go to the bathroom. Like she says she's gonna go to the bathroom, but she ends up going
Yeah.
to shop instead, right? Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's just it, and she's looking at a daring one that like the one that he had seen, and then this is where her friends, come out, so Neko's there with Hachi, and she's kinda showing off Hachi's bathing suit, like, "Oh, isn't it cute with all the frills, and isn't it so nice?" And then they see her standing there holding the daring bikini, and they're kinda like, "No, you can't wear that, you can't buy that." And then she kind of explains how she had seen him, looking at the ad, and she was like, "Oh my god, Shikimori, you're such a competitive person." And then it shows you a flashback of the 2 of them meeting where it was during a basketball game, and, um, Neko was battling against Shikimori in the game, and you kinda see again that, like you said, the competitive spirit and the look on her face as she's, battling it, and it gets pretty intense. And then, of course, at the end, they end up talking and they end up becoming, friends at the end of the match, which I get was really good. Like I said, the sports scenes are really good, and I definitely do enjoy them. So
They
then they're
also get
back
ready
now.
for their exams a little bit,
Yeah.
too, in this episode. There's not really much more that goes on in this
No.
episode. I will
No, like I
make
said,
note that I loving the end where Shikimori and Izumi are just having like this really wholesome, cute phone conversation. Again, there's just
yeah.
so many of these little moments that are just so cute that I just love, right? They're just like
Yeah.
really, really fantastic.
Well, and even earlier on, because he's going and when he's questioning her about, seeing the bag and like, "Oh, did you buy something?" And then she's trying to
Yeah.
lie, and she's like, "No, no, I didn't buy anything." And he's like, I can tell when you're lying." And, he starts teasing her about it, so they're trying to, like, get it out of her, and she's like, "No, no, I didn't buy anything, I didn't buy anything."
Yeah, me and Shikimori, we both are bad dyers, which is good. Like, yeah, I don't really know if you want to be a good dyer.
No,
I, I feel
but
like
yeah,
you'd probably be living like a very weird life if you're doing that.
it pretty much. But I do like you said, at the end, they do have the conversation, and I really like how they both kind of had their own moment throughout the call where they both basically have said, like, you know, "Oh, I really wanna see her face," and she's like, "Oh, I really wanna see his face." They would have rather have done, like, a FaceTime rather than just a regular voice call, which again, like you said, was just really cute. And of course, that's how that
Yeah,
ends, and
I
then we
know
jump into episode
you
5.
love when you get to FaceTime me because you get to see Blossom. Yay!
Yeah!
Yatta! Mm.
Yeah, so then, of course,
So
episode
episode
starts with them going to the
5
river.
is yeah, they go to the river, and it's really
Yeah.
neat because they showcase that Izumi actually does have a skill. He can cook, right? Like he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm actually good at cook because I am helping my mother all the time in kitchen." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Okay, good. Like at least that's a, like you know what I mean? They give him something, and that's
Yeah.
like at least I'm happy about that because they could have just made him a complete loser character,
Well,
and I'm
and they
like, well,
also
at
and they
least
also
they
kind
gave
of
him a skill.
well, that's just it. You kinda get a sense too from dealing with his mother who is also unlucky that they tend to take their cooking skills more serious because it is serious with a knife. So you can actually see the
Hmm.
care in the way that he's cutting and he's trying to, go through that he's actually like,
Yeah,
keeping everything
you
safe.
wanna you know who's not good with a knife? Inzuka. He just, like, stabs the
Yeah.
onion.
He literally goes, "Don't worry, guys, I'll do the prep work," and he just grabs the onion and he grabs a knife and just stabs it. Like it's like he owes him money. Where's my buddy?
Oh.
So then they get
Oh, that
everyone
was
gets
so
impressed.
funny.
And of course everyone gets impressed with his prep skills and then Shikimori wants to, kind of help out and she's fixing up a dish.
Well, she
Uh
sees Izumi cooking for everyone, right? So she's like,
yeah,
"Oh, well, I'm gonna make
I
something
want to
just
help
for
out.
him," right?
Yeah.
Kinda just cook for him.
Yeah.
And I like this too because it doesn't showcase her being good at everything. In fact, she makes so bad food.
Yeah. So he
And
immediately
he
drops
eats
to the
it and
ground.
he's like, "Ugh, ugh, ugh, what the heck is this? This is so bad." And then Shikimori is just like, "Wait, no, it can't really be that bad." And then she eats it. She's like, "What the heck is this? I'm gonna die."
Yeah, she drops to the ground immediately with him, so they're both like on the ground. And they're both like wincing and then of course he
Oh.
goes and he tries to power through it and he's like, "No, I'm gonna finish eating all of this because you made it for me," kind of thing. And she's like, "No, you can't, you'll die." And again, it was just like I said, it's just those little cute moments between the two of them. So then at the end of this, of course, he goes and he brings out dessert that he made out of the snacks that they brought. He makes
Yeah,
s'mores.
s'mores. I love s'mores. Yeah.
And I like too, because again, she has these little moment with him where she's got some chocolate on her fingers, and it's just like this thing where she like seductively licks her fingers while looking at him and says she could eat his s'mores every day. But then she whispered to him that next time she'd rather just the two of them eat the s'mores together rather than as a group kind of thing. And then you see them sitting by the river and their legs are in the water and they're kind of kicking around. And then of course we see Hachi. So Hachi, I love. Okay, Hachi, I love. She was so hilarious throughout this entire anime.
Hachimitsu.
Yeah,
Hachimitsu is so
Hachimitsu.
hilarious character.
So she shows up and she's showing off her bathing suit, and you see her laying on this like giant inflatable like clamshell or seashell, and she's just kind of laying there like, "Hey, what do you think of my bathing suit?"
And
It's
then,
just
like,
this
the whole
absolutely
group is just
ridiculous
like
scene.
the group is like, "Wait, where'd you even have that thing? Where were you keeping that?" Like, they're and, like, this is where you see that there's other people at the river here too, like, so
Yeah,
there's, like, other, like, group of kids, also at the river. So,
yeah,
everyone starts, like, going swimming, and then Izumi and Shikimori are just, like, kinda putting their feet in, right, just next to the river. And a kid gets taken away like slowly by the current, and
yeah,
Izumi is the only one who sees this, so he's like, "Oh, well, I have to save her, right?" So of course Izumi goes in and saves her, and then when he's trying to climb out, he uh he gets a cramp in his foot, so now like he's drowning, and the girl has to
yeah,
run back to camp, and then people are like, "Hey, where's Izumi?
yeah.
Has anyone seen Izumi?" As the girl is like coming back, so of course Shikamaru just goes and like saves him, but again, it's just like
Immediately
the
dives in.
unlucky,
Yeah,
yeah. And I like it was cute too. Like after this, they are like splashing around a little bit, and it later on it gets shown them that they go and get the ice cream and what. This scene is hilarious. I'll let you talk about this one.
Yeah, so they go through and they're looking at each other and they're, showing off their ice cream. So, "Oh, I got this flavor. Oh, I got this flavor." And, and they're, you know, Shikimori's like, "Oh, do you want to try mine?" So he kind of leans in, he takes a little lick and he tries it. He's like, "Oh, this is so good." And he goes to offer, well, she basically like takes his hand and was kind of like, "Yeah, you're gonna offer me some of yours," kind of thing. And then she goes and she leans in to have some of his, and then it's like this intense like moment where like they're both like doing this thing where like it's like dramatic music and she's like leaning in. It's like they're trying to like really showcase it. And then Inuzuka comes in and just like chomps it in one bite. Just eats his entire ice cream in one bite.
I when I saw that, I was just like, "Uh-oh, this is really bad."
Oh, and then of course
Because
he's sitting there. He's like,
her face was like, "You just
"Oh
ate
yeah,
my ice cream."
yeah." And she says it. She's like, "That you just ate my ice cream," and it was hilarious because then yeah, Izumi was like, "But it was my ice cream." And then she
So
goes
then
and she grabs her
mm.
spoon and she like swipes Inu's ice cream. She eats it in one bite and she gets like an ice cream headache, but she's got this look on her face like, yeah, I just did that kind of thing, right? Like this like menacing, like, haha, victory.
It reminded me of, you know exactly what it reminded me of.
Yeah. So
And
he
then
goes.
oh,
I was just saying that they just go back and forth where he's like calling her a child for the
mhm.
way she's acting, but he's trying to steal her ice cream and she's dodging his stealing attempts, and they're just going back and forth, and everyone's just sitting there like, ah, what a bunch of children.
And then they all fall asleep on the train together on the way
Yeah,
home. So I really like this episode a lot.
yeah, yeah. This one was
This next
actually a really
episode
good one.
might have been my favorite one, though I have like I love the festival episodes.
Yeah, I know you do. So yeah, of course he's laying on the couch and he's recovering from, as we all knew, his sunburn. Um,
Yeah.
and he sees this ad for like a fireworks thing that's upcoming. So it's showing fireworks on the TV, and he says to Shikimori that there's somewhere he wants to kind of go with her. Um, and then he tells his parents that Shikimori's never been to a live show, so he really wants to take her to the fireworks to see them live. And then his dad at this point is being vague, and he says like, "Hey son, come here. There's something I really have to tell you," kind of thing. And like I said, it kind of cuts off at that point. Um, and then of course it then just jumps to them. Well, Shikamori, who is watching
I
a
really like this
video.
part because
She's
she's
watching
trying
a
to
video on how
yeah.
to put her sash on for her yukata, and she's watching
Mm.
a video and she can't figure it out.
And she's getting like
And
frustrated. And I love this
yeah,
because her brother comes in and helps her with it. Like, oh, it's so cute. I was like, oh, look at that.
yeah, so he's watching her and he gets up and he kind of comes over and helps her. And again, it's like you said, it's a nice little moment between the two of them. It's nice to see that through their rivalry they still actually do care. You may be annoying, but I do still love you.
It is like it's this regular sibling thing, right?
Yeah.
Though me and my yeah, me and my sister, we actually always get along. We really not have too many problems.
Right.
Well, hey, that's rude. That is rude. Don't say that. You know we get along very good.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure you do. So then they go around and they're
Wait,
at the
no, that's
festival.
not what I was talking about either. No, that's not. No, stop it.
So then they go to the festival
Damn it. Damn
and
it,
they're
damn
walking
it.
around and they're getting food. Um,
Mm.
again, and I like this because again, it showcases, even though like they have their differences, they do get along quite well. Like they have their taste differences quite a bit. Um, because again, like Shikamori tries his, cotton candy, And then she says, like, "I'm willing to have, like, a bit of this with you, but to me, this is, like, very sweet. Like, I really just I don't really like how sweet it is," kinda thing.
I love
Um,
cotton candy. Oh, I love it so much.
I don't because I find it very sweet.
Well, then, if you ever come for festival, then I
Oh,
get
you
to
can
eat
have all
all
the
the
cotton
cotton
candy.
candy. Yay!
Yeah. And the candy apple.
Hey, I don't really
So,
like
the
candy apple. They're
sweet.
just too big.
Yeah.
They're hard to eat. That's the
Yeah,
problem. They're just hard to
yeah.
eat. I don't know, but yeah.
So, then, of course, he goes by and he sees, a game, and it's a rifle game, it's a shooting game, and he's scanning around for, like, prizes that maybe Shikimori would like, and he sets his eyes on a wolf. So he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna give it a try, I'll win it for you," and he's like, "Oh, yeah, you got this, win it for that little lady," and yeah, and of course he failed. He failed miserably, and of course this triggers, Shikimori, who's now like, "Well, maybe I'll give it a go. Maybe I'll give it a try." She's all nonchalant about it at first, and then
Yeah, but
the
then
guy's like, "Oh,
she gets
yeah."
that look in her eye.
Well, that's just it. He goes and he's looking at her, he's like, "Oh, let's see what the little lady can do," and she's, like, starting to look over the rifle, like, "Alright, let me get in the specs of this thing," and all of a sudden she, like, puts it
And the
up, and she's like, "Get the serious, like, look," and she starts, like, popping off and hitting everything in, like, this clean row. He's knocking off a
Yeah,
bunch of
and the
stuff.
guy's just like, "Wait, who is this girl? This girl's not a regular girl, what the heck?"
No, he's sitting there, he's like, "Oh, she's got that hunter's look in her eye." He goes, "Well, here you go, little lady, you won this prize." And of course, she turns and she gives it to Izumi.
Right.
Um, so now from at this point, they're walking around again, and they end up running into the rest of the group. And it was funny because, like, he goes, he, like, puts his arms around Izumi and is like, "We're gonna have a bunch of competitions, you and I. We're gonna see who's the best, and we're gonna do all these from here on out, we're just gonna be competitive, you and I." And they go and they're doing the goldfish game where they gotta scoop the goldfish into what is it, like a bowl or a cup or something.
Yeah, you gotta scoop the goldfish into the cup. Hmm.
And so he's doing this, and of course Izumi is not good, and he's trying to do it, and he just knocks his handle into the
The
water.
water.
And Inu is just so good at it. He's just, "Oh, got another one. Ooh, got another one. Got another one." And she's just getting them. So the Shikimori is getting her, competitive jealous side is now like, "Oh, I have to avenge, Izumi. I gotta avenge his loss." So she sits down. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this," but like she can't get any
She's
of the
not good at
fish.
it either.
Well, and she like half the problem is she's like looking at the fish with her serious look, and the fish are just being scared. It's
To
like they're
being
scared by her
scared, yeah.
presence. So they just keep swimming away from her. And of course, she's getting frustrated because she's looking over at Inu, who's like, "Oop, got another one, got another one,"
Yeah,
and
so
she's all
she's, like,
like,
getting so
"Ooh."
frustrated, like, "Oh, what the heck?" Mm.
Yeah. So then, of course, Neko sees the time. She's like, looks at the sky and sees, how dark it's getting, and she realizes that the fireworks are coming. So, and she knows Shikimori, and she knows that she's just gonna sit there, and she'll miss the entire fireworks trying to, beat Inu. So she kind of steps in. She's like, "Don't worry, don't worry. I'll avenge Izumi. I'll avenge him for you. Go do your fireworks." And she kind of like steps in, and is like, "Okay, I'll take over here. You just go." So they do. They go off, and at first her channel breaks, and then you see like a moment where they're sitting down, and he's telling her like, "Oh, I fixed your sandal, but you got a bunch of nasty blisters on your feet." Um, and he asked her like, "Would you like me to just, I'll just carry you. I'll just carry you to, to go watch the fireworks kind of thing, right?" Which again I thought was really cute because again it shows like, he's not always useless. He does have his moments, right, where he can kind of, break free from um his bad
Unluckiness.
luck. Yeah.
Yeah.
So of course he's walking to this is a part where we see the flashback where his dad tells him about a secret viewing spot for the fireworks, and it turns out it's like a shrine. So he goes and he starts taking her there, and you see a moment where he's like standing at the bottom of like steps. It's like these long, the classic long shrine steps, and he starts walking up, carrying her up the
Oh, I
steps.
can promise you they are just not classic. They are they are real.
I just mean they're everywhere. Like we see them, right? So he goes and
Oh,
he
trust
takes
me,
her up.
they are everywhere.
So he takes her up to the top, and they get to this bench and they sit down and they're watching the fireworks kind of thing. And again, it was a really cute moment between the two of them as they're just sitting there together watching the fireworks, and they're having their little conversation. And where they're, like, explaining about the fireworks and how, he chickened out. He didn't end up going to the fireworks last year. He said he wanted to call her, but he kept chickening out. And, of course, she tells him, "I didn't go because I was waiting for you to call."
Mhm.
And, yeah, it was just really cute. And then, of course, he goes to try to carry her down, and he can't. It's just like to have jelly from from carrying her up the steps. And then, of course, this is where we see his parents are there, and his dad offers to kind of help carry the two of them. So his dad's like so strong, he's carrying the two of them on his back going down the steps. And it shows a flashback to the two of them finding them, and they're kind of like, "What are you guys doing here? Like, how did you find us?" And they're like, "No, we always come to the fireworks. This is our spot. We always come here." Wait, how long have you been there? "Oh, we've been here the whole time. We've just been sitting behind you on the ground." Having like a little picnic kind of thing. They got like their blanket out and they're just sitting down. And then of course the two of them get embarrassed because they were sharing like an intimate moment, but his parents were behind them the whole time. But yeah, and that's pretty much how the episode ends. Like I said, I really like that episode.
And then episode 7, well, real quick, like, I like when they try to walk down the shrine. Uh,
Yeah,
Izumi, like, is trying to carry Shikimori down, and he, like, is about to fall, and so his dad just
yeah.
picks up both of them and takes them both down.
That's what I mean. You
It's
just
like,
like talk to them.
just like
Like,
it's
yeah,
like,
I
"Alright,
got
this
you
is so
guys.
easy."
Yeah.
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 So
Again,
so
it was really funny.
episode 7 is the first day of the cultural festival.
Yeah.
Uh and their class is hosting cafe, right? Like a animal cafe, right? So
Yep.
Izumi is dressed up as a lion, and Shikimori is dressed up as like
Funny.
a bunny, a long-eared bunny, and I just thought it was funny. Not a whole lot happens at like the cafe part of the anime, but
Not
Izumi
really, like,
goes to.
the early stages are
Mm,
showing, like, he's, like, the 2 of them are part of separate groups. So he's watching her work in her group, and he's over in his, and he's doing sewing, and he's actually, again, really good at sewing. Anything I find, like, anything that has to do with sharp anything, he's really good at because, again, he knows I don't wanna hurt myself kinda thing. Um, but again, he's kinda I don't wanna say he's jealous, but he's very much looking at the fun Shikimori's having, and he's kinda like, "I really wanna be there with her." And I think it's Hachi that was sitting beside him, and she's like, you know you just stabbed yourself." Is he's doing he's not paying attention 'cause he's watching her. And, of course, she's looking over at him, and she's getting jealous because she's like, "Well, I really wanna be there with him. I really wanna work with him." And, again, she's getting a little bit jealous kinda thing. I do like one moment with it where he's walking and his unlucky side takes over in a bit where he kinda slips and he's falling backwards, and, there's, like, the, ice cream is falling, and the Shikimori comes in and she, like, rescues him like this prince. She's, like, holding on to him and, catches the ice cream and everything, and then they make this comment like, "Oh, looks like the bunny tamed the lion."
yeah, like the bunny made turn the lion into a kitty cat.
Yeah, kitty cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it was really cute. But yeah, there's not much that happens throughout that part. So like the next day, they're talking about their next day where, he says he has library duty because they wanna go and walk around, they wanna go explore the festival, and he's like, "Oh, you got morning duty," and kinda thing, and he's like, "I got library duty as well," kinda thing. Um, so, of course, this is where he goes, and he starts off the next day going to the library, where and this is where we see, Kamiya again, so the girl from the earlier volleyball, game, and she's the one who's working with him, on the library duty. I do feel bad throughout this episode. Throughout these next
Yeah,
couple
this
episodes,
part
I
is
do feel
sad.
bad.
Yeah, it starts off by showing flashback about how Shikimori and Izumi met the year before, right?
Yeah,
At a festival where their school does this thing where you have to find the person who has the same number as you,
yeah,
and you take picture with them. And there's like this big rumor that if you take picture together, a lot of people start to date or after this picture. So
yeah,
Izumi and Shikimori like work together to get to like find to switch number, right? With someone. And then they finally do, and then of course Izumi loses his, and this is where like he's begging the class president to be like
yeah.
the school president, like, oh please look, it shows that we have the same number, like from a picture like on the
The
board,
board of
right?
his showing
Mm-hmm.
his number, and
Mm-hmm.
because Shikamori has hers, right? So it's kinda like, "Look,
Right.
we're not lying, we're paired," kinda thing. Um,
And he was just like, "No, we're not going to do that." And
yeah,
then they were begging and stuff. And, he knows like most of the student body. And so he sees how hard like Izumi is fighting for this. So he goes and he writes another number on like the same number again on a new heart. And it's like, don't tell anyone about this. But I thought that was really nice, like, because he
yeah.
saw Izumi like, yeah, he never does this. He's never like this. So, like, this is like very important to
Showing
him,
his
right?
determination, yeah,
Yeah,
and you can
determination,
see
so
it
that's kind of
and you
why
can
he
see it, the
did it.
president well, and you can kinda get that sense because the president afterwards, after they take their pictures, he kinda looks at him and says, kinda like, "Good luck,"
Yeah,
kinda like, "Go get them," kinda thing, like, "You got this."
gambite.
Um, yeah, and basically kinda says, like, "Keep going," kinda thing, and I really do like it because it really showcases, again, like, their willingness for each other, like, you know he says, "I don't want my unluckiness to pass on to you, like, I'm just unlucky, it is what it is, like, we don't have to try to look for my number, it's never gonna happen, because, that's just how it goes," and then she fires back with, like, "I don't care then, today we change that, let's go find it, like,
Mhm.
I'm determined to get past this," kinda thing, right? And that's where he kinda, like, immediately becomes, like, enamored, like, she's willing to go this route for me kinda thing, right? Um, so he decides he's gonna ask her out. And so they go behind the school gym, and he's trying to ask her out, and his hands is shaking, and he's kind of nervous. You don't hear anything, but you kind of get a sense where Shikamori's kind of like she has like this blushing look on her face, like, "Hey, don't worry, like yeah, I like you too," like you know, kind of thing. Um, and then you see him like lunging forward. He's doing like the classic like anime, "Will you please go out with me?" And he's, like, bowing, he's got his hand extended, and then, of course, she, like, grabs hold of it and pulls him in, and she does, like, this hugging embrace, and kinda signaling, the start of their kinda relationship.
Yeah, in this episode too, like in the beginning, you saw Kamiya and Izumi talking, and it's showcasing how Kamiya is like a little bit enamored with Shikimori, but as episode 8 start, you find out that Kamiya actually likes Izumi.
Yeah, so we start
And
seeing
in
a bit
this
more of the backstory between the 2 of them.
mhm. Yeah, and then Izumi, like, so this year, uh, Shikimori has the same number as someone else, right? And so now she's trying to find the person who has Izumi's number.
Yeah,
And it's Kamiya. Kamiya has Izumi's number, right? And so you could be like profoundly happy, like, oh wow, like she gets to take picture with the person that she actually likes,
yeah,
even if they cannot be together, right?
yeah,
And so yeah, so with Shikimori and Kamiya, they do switch number, right? Because she finds out. later in the episode, she kind of, talks to her on the roof, and she's like, "You know what? It wasn't right of me to kind of take your number from you," because Shikimori also has noticed that, "Oh, yeah, okay, I think she likes Izumi,"
Yeah,
and that
she
she
kinda picks up, she spots a conversation because she's waiting for, Izumi to finish his library duty. So he only has, like, 20 minutes left, so she's like, "Well, I'll just sit around and wait," kinda thing.
Mhm.
And she sees the 2 of them talking and just seeing their interaction and how the 2 of them are, she really kinda gets that sense, like, "Okay, this is what's happening." And this is where we do feel bad because, like, you start to see more and more flashbacks where she, to an extent, because of her feelings and her admiration for Izumi, she was missing out on a lot of her own friendship and a lot of her building of friendships, where
Mhm.
people started to think of her as a little bit weird, a little bit cold, a little bit, like, distant,
Yeah,
because every time they ask
loner
her.
kinda girl. She just always
Yeah,
try to be alone.
well, it's because, like, every time people ask her to go out, she's like, "No, I can't today," and she's rushing off because to her, she's rushing off to go see him. And you can
Mhm.
see a scent of her where she's changing a little bit because, like, she normally has her hair up in a ponytail, but when she was going in to see him on library duty, she was letting her hair down, and she was
Mhm.
showcasing herself a little bit differently for him. And you get a sense of it at the end because as she's leaving the duty for, like, the library duty, she then immediately puts her hair back up into a ponytail as she enters her class, before she goes up to the rooftop. So again, like I said, like these parts here were really, it really kind of built up to this moment, like you said, where Shikamori's there and saying that, I notice your feelings and I don't want to take this away from you because your feelings are your feelings and you should, cherish them and hold
Yeah, and
on to them kind
Shikimori's
of
like,
thing.
I apologize, but, like, I never meant to hurt you, but I'm not gonna give him to you, but, you know, like, she understands, like, how it would feel, like, she understands,
Yeah.
like, how it would
Yeah.
feel to, like, not be able to have the person that you love, like, she knows that if the roles were reversed, right, like, she would feel the same way as, Kamiya
Well,
does, so it's just
exactly. And
really cute moment between them, and again, it's like it's very mature, like, this anime is
yeah,
just, like, really, really mature with the way they handle a lot of these
a lot of these
little
things. Well, that's just
interactions,
it.
and I love it, that it's a really big reason why I gave it a pretty decent score,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So, of course, she goes and she rips up the number and kinda tosses it to the
Mhm.
wind, and to, Kamiya's shock, and Kamiya just starts crying. She just starts bawling, and
Yeah.
then Shikamori goes in and, like, grabs a hold of her and pulls her close, and, they kind of hug for a little bit, kinda calms her down, and then she leaves her there. So, then, of course, this ends with the 2 of them, Izumi and Shikamori. It's the last day of the festival, which is also her birthday.
Mhm.
So he decides, I missed out on knowing it was her birthday last year because we weren't really all that close per se.
Mhm.
So this year I don't want to kind of mess up. I do think it's hilarious because he goes and he does the whole like, I'm a boy, I don't know kind of moment where he goes to the store and you see him buying the present for her and he's begging the worker almost where he's like, I want to buy a present for my girlfriend. I don't know what to get her. Will you help me?
It just he ends up getting her a really cute, heart necklace,
Necklace.
and
Yeah.
I thought it was, like, really, really cute looking, like, necklace, and, I love their cute conversation again that they had alone, and, like, Shikamori promises to never let him go, and it's like, I just really like this moment, it's,
I
like,
like a lot
really
of it. Well, because like you
cute.
said, though, like,
Mhm.
it goes back to, like you said, with their maturity where it's like, the 2 of them have insecurities. However, the 2 of them are not afraid to express themselves and talk through it, rather
Yeah, they
than
talk through
just
it, and
letting
they're
it
gonna work
control them.
together to get past stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, rather than letting it affect anything or, become too controlling, right? So then, of course, it ends with, him placing, the necklace on her, and then she cries a little bit and, they kinda comfort each other, and then they go on their way. again, it was a really cute moment. Like, I really enjoyed, like, a lot of these little things here, and like I say, this point in it, they're really downplaying, and they don't really showcase a lot of his, like, unlucky streak. So again, it really, like these moments really helps because, like, early on, if they kept doing, like, this unlucky thing, like, I swear, if he went to hand her the present and you somehow lost it or, the bottom of the bag ripped and it was lost in the
Yeah, see,
cart,
this is
like,
what I was,
it
like,
would pull you
really
away
I
from
was
it, right?
really glad that they didn't exactly, I'm glad they didn't do
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
they knew that this moment was important and, like, when the moment seems to be more important, this is where his luck is not, like, his bad luck doesn't follow him, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
if a moment is so important, you know what I mean? So I thought
yeah.
that was, like, a good thing
Well,
because
because
you saw it too
well,
at,
like
like,
you
the
said, they
shrine too
understand.
sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, and that's just it, and like you said, like, in these moments, it's like, they know, like, these kind of things can draw you out of these moments, right? And these are really big, significant moments. So I really am glad that they did take a lot of that serious instead of taking the whole, comedic, cheap pop kind of moment and like, oh no, now we're wandering around the park in the dark looking for this necklace because I lost it,
Mhm.
right? Um,
Yeah.
and just actually give us a wholesome moment together, which
Yeah, they
again
just
I
let the
really
moment be
enjoyed.
the moment without
Yeah,
any joke or anything like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
then of course
then
we
we
jump into
run into
yeah,
episode 9.
yeah,
I have a lot and not a lot to say about this anime because there's another big like backstory anime, right?
yeah.
Episode, right?
Yeah.
Where Shikimori like I love how Shikimori gets like jealous for Izumi, like we talked about earlier, but it happens to
Yeah.
prominently throughout the anime where like you can still see, they're still growing, they're still like learning and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I don't mind that they did this a few times.
No.
Uh but Inuzuka thinks that Shikimori like hates him. Which is
Well, it's because she keeps glaring. She keeps giving these angry
yeah.
glares at him, right? These serious
Mhm.
glares. Now, for her, like, so in this moment here, like at the beginning, like, uh, the two girls, so Neko and Hachi are talking, like, "Oh my God, Izumi's not here. He's not here. Where could he be?" And then Inu's like, "Oh, he's sick. Like, he's at home sick." They're like, "Oh, you already knew that?" And he's like, "Yeah, he texted me. He wants me to write notes for him." And of course, Shikimori's there, and she's like, "He what? He didn't text me this. He didn't ask me this." And of course, she's jealous because it's like it's not that she's jealous of the two of them. It's more like, why didn't he tell me? Why didn't he rely on me? Right? Like, what is it
Mhm.
about you
Mhm.
that I don't have? Like, why does he
And
trust
she's like
you
and
and
she's
not
like,
trust
"I would
me?
write better," she says, "I would write better notes for him than I do myself."
Yeah. Yeah, and again, she's doing, like, this whole, like
Oh.
her fist is shaking in the air, like, "I would've wrote better notes for you than
Yeah.
myself," she's like this fiery intensity, and the other 2 are, like, rolling their eyes at them, um, so, of course, he says, "I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna take the notes to, Izumi," and she's like, "I'll walk you there then," kinda thing, she's like, "I will walk with you," and, of course, he's like, "Oh, okay," like, whatever, like, he's still like okay, like, he's kinda, like, weirded out, like, this is weird interaction kinda thing, right? So, of course, Neko's like, "Oh my god, this was such a bad idea letting the 2 of them walk home together." It's like, "But we can't pass this up." Like, "I have I have volleyball, so you're gonna have to go and follow them, Hachi." And
And
she, like, sends her on
Hachimitsu,
this,
like,
like, following mission.
this yeah, and I love it when, like, they go to shop at the, konbini. She's just
Yeah,
sitting there
same.
on, like, a kid ride at the end, and they're both like, "Wait, what the heck are you even doing here?" Like, her character is so hilarious. Oh, right.
So, yeah,
Okay.
so we see the 2 of them walking home together, and she stops to get something for his throat. And as she's sitting there, she's kinda, like, on the ground, just kinda, like, squatting down, she's looking, "What flavor would he like? Which one would he like?" And then she ends up calling, Inu Nissan. She ends up thanking him, calling him Nissan. He's kinda like, "Eh, eh, eh, what do you mean?" He's all, like, kinda like, "I don't know what's going on," kinda thing.
Hi.
So, of course, she gets him candy, and she's like, "Yeah, you like things grape, don't you? Here, just take it." So as the 2 of them are walking out, Hachi's just sitting there, and again, just hilariously, she's
Actually, this
sitting
is
and
this
she's on this
kid line.
horse, and she's like just kinda rocking back and forth on it, and they're like, "What are you doing here?" She doesn't even hide it. "Yeah, I was sent here to spy on you guys," kind of thing. And they're like, "What?"
So I like the, accusation that she made, where she's like,
Yeah.
"Shikimori is just wanting attention from her brother."
Yeah, and that's the whole
Which is
reason
probably,
why
like,
she's,
making note on the mistake for saying "니한테." Yeah.
yeah. And basically and she's saying that's it. It's not that she actually hates you, it's that she sees you as, like, her brother, and there's, like, this rivalry between, the 2 of you because of this, which again is just hilarious. So,
S
the next
then
thing you
we
see is they're walking
I was like, then we see, was it,
Neko.
Nakozaki, right? And,
Yeah.
uh, sorry, Kamiya, right? They are together?
No, it's, so what they see is they actually see Neko and Shikimori are walking through the
Oh,
mall,
they're at the mall.
and
That's
then they
right.
see yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. So they're walking, and then they see Kamiya shopping for herself. She's looking at makeup, or she's looking at something, and, and that's when Neko, like, immediately runs over, it's like, "Kamiya!" And the Shikimori shows up, and they kinda like, "Oh, okay, why don't we just go around together?" Kinda thing. Um, which again, this whole thing was really cute. Like, they go around and, they take photos together in the photo booth, which the pictures they took were freaking hilarious. These, like, these
They were
perfect, like,
hilarious.
model photos. So then, of course, they go and they stop at an arcade. So Neko was doing her own like shopping by herself, and then went to the bathroom or something. I can't remember. She goes off on her own and leaves Chikamori with Kamiya. So they're kind of wandering around, and they end up going to an arcade, and they see like an arcade game, and Kamiya tries it, and she doesn't win. So Shikamori's like, "Oh, I'll give it a try. Let me give it a try." And then she ends up winning. She wins like a bunch of candy, and she ends up like giving it to Kamiya. And again, it's like it's starting to show like the early stages of their bonding kind of thing. Um, so then, of course, they're on their way home, and they end up stopping to play a game of basketball. And these 2 girls are there, and they're like, "We were here
This is
first."
hilarious. They're like, "Okay, well, we'll play for the." They're like, "Do you wanna
The
play for
right
it?" And they're like, "No, no, it's okay." And they're like, "Oh, what? You think you can't beat us?" And then, of course, Chikamo's like, "Oh,
yeah.
yeah, okay, now it's on." And they destroy them. They absolutely destroy them. They make it so easy looking.
Well, that's just it. Throughout the whole time, the 2 of them are
Yeah.
sitting there like, "Oh my god, they're so fast. Oh my god, they're so good." And they're just kinda like both of them are kinda, like, in shock by how good these girls are kinda thing. Um, and then, of course, they all start walking home together, and you see Kamiya basically ask Shikamori to be friends. And Neko's kinda like, "Yeah, but, like, the stuff you guys did together, like, the way you were acting today, like, you guys kinda already are." But you see Kamiya kinda, like, shut her down, like, "Hey, like, let the 2 of us have this moment, like." And then Shikamori's like, "Yeah, we can be friends," kinda thing. And again, they have, like, their cute moment. And, of course, they're walking home, Kamiya and Neko, and she basically explains how, like she's like, "Yeah, you've actually changed quite a bit. You've actually changed for the better."
Yeah, you've
And,
been used to be so cold, and she was kind of wondering, like, "So who changed you?" Right? And obviously for Kamiya, it's Izumi, but she's not
yeah.
going to admit that, right? So she's
Well,
like,
no.
"No, I can't really say," you know what I mean? Mm.
Yeah, I can't really say, what specifically or who specifically yet, but maybe in time I'll actually tell you kind of thing. Um, and of course, episode 10 comes in with like you said, the athletic festival now, I think is what it was this time.
Mhm. Yeah, this is like a other sports day, because right, this is the second, year for them, right?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
also missed talk about that part. I also forgot to mention that, um Shikimori has bad eyesight. Like, she
Yeah,
has poor eyesight, so I kinda thought that was, like, that was another thing, like, she has flaws, like, I like that a little bit. But yeah, this sports festival, this was this was Hachimitsu's episode, and I really like her character growth here in this episode, where it's not like she's, like, feeling left behind, but, like, so during they're choosing who is on what sport with, by doing raffle, like,
yeah, yeah,
blind, like, pulled. So, basically, Shikimori is not in the same thing as them, so, like, they're, like, secretly switching what the events that they do, so and then at the end, it's like, "Okay, we need 2 more people for the relay," so the relay race for the team becomes Izumi, Shikimori, Neko, Hachimitsu, and of course, Inzuka. So they're working on training. I'm like, okay, well, we know that Izumi is going to fall and stuff like that. So
yeah. We know bad luck's gonna happen some way or another. So they basically go through and they're kind of like, we'll take it in shifts. So they're coming up with their strategy on, who's gonna go first, who's gonna go next, and all those things. And then yeah, you start seeing you see Hachi and Izumi practicing themselves. You see them practicing for the race, kind of thing. Um,
is this the episode where Hachimitsu's like, they're like, oh no, look, she's melting, and like she's actually melting in the classroom.
oh yeah, 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 yeah,
I started laughing. They're like, "Oh no, look! Like she must be getting her heart. Her face is melting, and her face is actually
yeah.
like melting off, melting off."
So
Ah,
yeah, so you kind of see they're starting off. So they come through and it shows up and it's race day. Um, and she's still not confident in herself. She's not really confident in anything. But they kind of sit her down. They're kind of like, just try, like, give it your best. Like, don't worry, we've got this kind of thing.
hey,
So they have her start off first, and because they know she's already like a little bit of a slower character as it is, right? Um,
no, she start.
no,
She's second. She's
yeah, she
second.
was second. It was Neko that
Neko's
went first.
first. Hey.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Neko goes first because they're trying to get a big lead. Is what they were hoping for. Um, and Neko apologized because as she's coming off, she's like, "Sorry, I thought I'd have a bigger lead by now." But
Mhm.
somebody was actually, staying with her. So she passes it off to Hachi, who's riding slower, um, but still going good. You can actually see her trying. She's panting, she's going. You can actually see she's trying, and she's not actually wanting to give up. So she gets near, the handover, and she ends up tripping and falling.
Yeah. To
And
Izumi. There is near Izumi. She hands off to Izumi.
yeah, so
Yeah.
she's kind of laying there, and she kind of see things like, oh, what should I do? And then she kind of thinks back to the training and everything, and then she's like, okay. And she gets up and she dusts herself off and keeps going. And then she ends up passing it off. And easily, I thought at the beginning it was going to be good. I thought, yes, finally, like, oh yeah, like maybe his luck will hold out. No. So he starts off good, and then of course his shoe falls off, just flies off his feet as he's running.
And
One
then
of
he
them.
loses his other one.
Yeah, he just tosses the other one off and then he keeps going. So he's basically running bare feet now. He's trying to make a catch up and he ends up passing one person, I think, and he ends up passing it off to um is it Shikimori he passed off
Shikimori.
to?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Hype.
because Inu is the end.
Anchor. The
Yeah,
anchor.
he's the anchor. So he ends up passing it off to her and she just takes off like a bolt and just flying through and making this unbelievable comeback. So while they're doing that, and I do like the cute moment where Inu goes checks on Hachi. He kind of like picks her up and like, oh, you did good. And of course, again, you see her melting. It's ridiculous melting. Um, and then yeah, Shiki runs around and she's like flying and she shortens the gap and then she passes it to Inu, who again, takes off himself and makes this unbelievable comeback for coming through for the win. And then you see them all doing their cute little photo together where they're kinda sitting there and
I really like the growth, like, Hachimitsu's, like, thinking about, like, you see some flashbacks with her, like, "Oh, wow, I never really thought I'd be able to have, like, this much fun, right, in, like, high
Yeah,
school. Like, I didn't think
yeah,
I would ever have a group of friends like this, and I wanna try harder because wouldn't it be great if we can all be smiling and all enjoy the moment together?"
yeah,
So that's what's really motivating her. I
yeah,
know in the beginning of the episode too, they kinda showcased a few of the other events that they were all in, but yeah, the main topic of the episode was like the D-Day race and their
yeah,
practicing and their camaraderie together. Like, you know, uh, they all good friends and like they're all happy to be together as friends and stuff like that. And
yeah,
I really like the showcasing of that in this episode.
yeah, so do I. Um, so of course we go through and we see episode 11 has a lot of flashback to this,
Mm-hmm.
as we're going through, like, a lot of this, so we see basically um, they're going through they have, another date coming up, because of all the busyness of the festivals and everything else, you wanna actually go out on, another date kinda thing, um, so you see her basically going to the mall to do
With her
some shopping.
brother. Her
Yeah.
brother takes her, which again, like very cute.
Well, they go through and again, she's like, showcasing like, you don't have to come with me. He's like, well, someone would have drove you. Like, how would you have gotten here? She's like, I would have made it. I would have made it fine. Like, she's like, again, like, going through this pouting thing. And so you see her going through and she's trying to, like, again, go shopping and picking outfits for the date. So for him, he's seen an ad for an amusement park and he's showing her the commercial for this amusement park. And you see like, like these parents walking with the kids, and then you see this couples thing where the couples are kind of like in this intimate moment and then they kiss. So of course she's all fired up and she's like, are you sure this is where you want to go? She's got like this crazy look on her face, like, are you sure about this? He's like, yeah. She's like, oh, oh, okay. So fired up now because of this whole kiss scene. So you do see a lot of backstory with her, between her and her brother, and
Well,
they're
the
showcasing a lot.
mostly just Shikimori, like, how
Yep,
she was in middle school
yep.
where, people viewed her
Doing
as like
karate.
this tough girl and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Well, it shows her doing karate because her brother's doing it. So she
Mhm.
goes to do it, and she tries to because he's doing it, kind of thing. And you see like the two of them where it's showing like again their competitive spirit, where she's trying to beat him constantly, and he's still winning, kind of thing, right? And she's getting mad and fired up and stuff, and then he kind of gives the impression to her, kind of like, okay, but like I'm gonna quit this. So what do you want to do? What do you actually want to do? Are you gonna carry with karate? Like, is this something you actually enjoy, or is it just because I'm doing it? Like you can't always just do whatever me and mom does. Like you have to, figure out something you like, figure out your own hobbies, kind of thing, right? Um, really kind of pushing back on her for a lot of this. Which again, we do see where she does keep going with it, and you see a moment where she sees some kids in school getting bullied, some girls being bullied by some boys, and of course that's where she steps up and she's kind of like, back off, kind of thing. And again, like I said, it's just really cute, and I like how you kind of see at the end where she's like, you see her brother getting hit on by two girls, and he doesn't know how to act. And then Shikimori just, like, runs over to him and, like, grabs hold and like, "Come on, you're coming with me," kinda thing, and then the girl's like, "Oh, he had such a cute girlfriend like that. What do you need to tell us he had such a cute girlfriend like that?"
I like how when Shikimori was like trying to like start acting cuter, right? Because that's kind of
Yeah.
she
She's
kind
trying
of
to
made that
change her
decision.
personality.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's because she read a manga that a friend from her school lent her, right?
yeah,
And I was like,
yeah.
"Oh, that's hilarious, right? Like a manga that she read.
Well, that's
And
just
she's
it. It
like,
goes
"Oh,
back
well,
to that
what is love?" And like that kind of opened her eyes on like just the whole romance thing in like there's the
in
first
general.
romantic, yeah, in
Yeah,
general. Um, I also like how it showcased the first time they meet together, Izumi and Shikimori, and of course Izumi's bad luck. His entrance exam ticket ends up in the tree, and she climbs up the tree and gets it for him. And this is before they really even knew each other. And then
Yeah,
they end up going to the same high school, and that was the ticket that got him into the school. So
yeah,
she was like, "Oh, I'm so glad you passed, and like we are in same class and stuff." So that's kind of when their friendship really started. Was when they started the high school, but they met
yeah,
like a little bit before that without
yeah,
realizing it. Um,
yeah,
I also really like that when Shikimori gets ready to go on her amusement park date though, her brother like leaves like this cute little note for her, right? Like wishing her good luck and stuff like that.
yeah,
Like he's always caring for her. Like I really love her brother. Like
yeah,
Oni-chan is so good in this anime.
yeah. And then, of course, we end it on the finale here where, they actually go on their date.
And that's
So,
episode 12.
yep.
Yay!
And they go to the amusement park together. Again, it's like a lot of this stuff is kind of like a standard kind of amusement park date, I
Anime.
guess.
Yeah. They go shopping in the beginning for like little souvenir. Um, so they're waiting on they go on a few rides. I like they go on the oh my god, it's like a little boat ride
Yeah, yeah.
at the end. Mm.
Well, it's 'cause she's trying to, like, recreate some of the stuff she's seen from the commercial, 'cause she's trying to kinda initiate that kiss moment, right? Um, I think it was hilarious because, like, I watched this and I almost forgot part of it, but, like, I'm watching it when I get to this part, I'm, like, looking at her like, "Wait, wait, why is she dressed like Dracula? Why does she
Yeah,
have, like,
she
the cloak on?"
she got the cloak from the shop,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Right, yeah. So I was like,
and
this is very funny.
I was, like, watching, I was
I
like,
love, like, outside of the cloak, like, if she took the cloak off, like, I love her outfit. The black and the red,
"Yeah,
like,
yeah."
suit kind of look is, like, so good. I'm like, "Oh, I want something like that."
Yeah, so then, of course, they go on the boat ride, and then, oh, actually, they go to this fancy restaurant
That
kinda
was
thing.
funny. That was
'Cause
hilarious.
again, they're trying to, like, recreate the stuff that they've seen, right? So they'd seen these moments, and she's even, like, trying to, like, take him, like, "Oh, I seen this hallway," in the career, like, she's really trying to, like, pour it on here. Um,
Well, at the, when they go for the reservation, they're like, "Oh, we're sorry, we accidentally gave your table to someone else," so they get upgrade, right, to,
yeah,
like,
this
this
massive upgrade.
really nice,
The
super fancy,
penthouse.
like, the
Yeah, the
penthouse,
penthouse,
basically,
like
and it's funny because
yeah,
like, they're just high schoolers, and they're just they're Izumi's just, like, wearing jacket, though, and he's just like, "This is, like I look so bad," because
yeah,
everyone around them is, like, adult, and they have, like, fancy out like, the girls have so cute dress,
suits
and
and
the guys have suit
yeah.
yeah, exactly, and they're just over there, like even Shikimori, like, she still has this stupid Dracula cape thing on.
Oh, I know. So,
So
it was just hilarious. So, of course, they go on their boat ride, and then the power goes out as they're, going along the river. Um, so you kinda see Izumi take out his phone, and he's got, like, the flashlight. He's kinda, like, holding it there you know and then you see them holding hands. Like, a again, it's just this really cute moment between the 2 of them, for the ending.
I really like this because Shikimori's like, "Oh, it's kinda cute that the, like, power went out," because it's like it's almost like we're just the only ones here, right? It's a really cute
Yeah,
moment
yeah,
between them, and, I like after the dinner, Shikimori is just like, "Oh, well, we should, like, do what they did in the commercial," and then, like, Izumi is just like, "Oh, well, yeah," like, when, the parents took the little girl by the hand, and she's like, "That's not really what I meant," because at the end of the, commercial, they kiss you, and Izumi's like, "Wait, no, she really can't mean that, right?" And I think it's really cute when they're on the gondola,
yeah,
like, she kisses his hand, and then he kisses her, and says he loves her and stuff like that, and it's just really, really cute moment to
yeah.
ending of
This
the
is really
anime.
wholesome. Yeah,
I really like this, like, the whole anime. I really, really enjoyed a lot of moments, especially the last, like, 4 episodes were, like, really good,
yeah,
where they toned down his bad luck a lot, and before these last 4 episodes, I kind of have it in, like, the 7s, but
yeah,
after this, I'm like, it was good enough for me to put it into the 8 category. It's not too high above 8. I gave this one 8.2 from my
Yeah,
score. Like, I thought it was
yeah,
like the mature, wholesome way they got through a lot of the anime cliches. Like, I thought was really good and really well
yeah.
written, and I like Shikimori's personality. I like her hair. The music was pretty good, honestly, too. I'm not a big fan of the opening and the closing song. The opening
No,
song was Honey Jet Costa, and the ending song is Route Blue. They're just okay. I wasn't too, like, thrilled with both of them. They're not really
no,
my personal taste in
it's not
music,
my
but I
style.
really
Yeah,
found a lot of the background music I thought was really decent for anime.
yeah,
Like, I felt like it was a
yeah.
little bit better than I've heard from other anime. So I like that. The only thing that I thought was weird for the most part, I liked the animation. It's just they did the same thing they did with Hokkaido Gals, where it's like they have the eyes over their hair, and I just cannot. I don't like when the eyes are like shadowed over their hair. It just
Oh, yeah, same.
is
Where
weird.
I see it, where I visibly
Hmm.
see it through the hair, and I'm like, "That's not how it works. That's not how hair works. Like, what are we doing?" I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh my god." I know,
exactly.
I know.
But outside of
It's
that,
just lazy.
I really like this anime. And this
Yeah,
is one
same.
like I could easily see myself like watching again at some point.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like I said, like, I remember watching this the second time, and I'm like, "Okay, I guess, like" I had it so bad the first time. I think I had, like, a 7, and then, again, going through and watching it the second time, I was like, "Okay, maybe I was a little bit off. Maybe the unlucky moments were actually not as prominent as I'm remembering." Um, and then watching it again as it progressed, I was like, "You know what? It's actually less and less, and there's more and more of these cute moments that I'm noticing now, that I'm not quite focusing on some of the, like, more, 'Okay, well, where's the unlucky part coming? Where's the next unlucky part?' kinda thing, right?" So, I definitely bumped it up from where I'm about the same. I'm like 8.1, 8.2. I'm in that kinda range with it. So yeah, like I said, I had it about the same. It is definitely really cute. It is definitely up there, so yeah. Like I said, I had it a lot higher this time than I did last time.
Okay, so mine is 8.2. So which where did you fall on this one?
Yeah, like I said, about 8.1, 8.2, so in around there, so probably 8.2.
Mm, yeah, see, we are very good with that. We are always very close. I think our largest
Our
like
largest gap is
gap
Mafia.
as Makuya is
Yeah,
definitely our largest gap, which
yeah.
is
Which is only, like, 1 point if that. Like, it's not even, like, really that fully large, but
yeah, it's not like, oh, I thought this was a 8, and I was like, well, this was a 5. No, like we've
yeah,
never really
it's not
been
even
that
anything.
crazy off
No,
on things, but
no.
yeah. So yeah, that is I think that does it for this episode. Did you have anything else you want to add? Did you want to
Nope.
close us out?
Yep. No, so that's it for today's episode. Again, everyone, thank you guys for continuing the support and continuing this journey with us. So again, we're on YouTube now, so please kind of head over there and check us out as well. We're still on Spotify. We have a lot of things coming up. So again, take a look at all of our socials, TikTok, our Instagram. Um, and again, we're going to be posting a lot more things coming up. So again, stay tuned and keep an eye out. Once again, thanks everybody, and we'll see you guys next episode. So Maple out.
Bye bye. またね